So we are now into late May here in 2023, and we are still not a good team on the season, unfortunately. 19-28 on the year right now. And Joey Votto is actually going to be having a short stint on the 10-day IL. He pulled his shoulder. He's out for 1 to 2 weeks. And taking his place on the big league roster is going to be Jake Bauers, who is up from AAA Louisville. The Reds going to head out west here to the City of Angels, Los Angeles, to take on the Dodgers here at Dodger Stadium. And toeing the slab for the Redlegs on the day is the big lefty, James Paxton. Big Maple making his 10th start of the season and being opposed by Joe Musgrove, the Dodgers' big acquisition of this offseason. Take a look at the Reds lineup on the day, listed 1 to 9. We'll start things off with the bottom half of the order here in the top of the third. Kevin Kiermaier going to club a ball over the head of Mookie Betts in right field, hit off the bottom of the wall. That is an easy two-bagger for the fleet-footed Kevin Kiermaier. With one out there on second base, brings up top of the order now with John Birdie, who proceeds to go down swinging. So 2 down in the inning, and unfortunately they would not be able to drive in Kiermaier as India then pops one up on a hanging slider at the top of the zone, and now that would end that frame. So onto the bottom half of the frame, Mookie Betts, chopper over to third. Take a look at Nolan Jones, diving stop, whips it to second, over to first, around the horn, double play. Nothing else would happen in that inning, but let's take a look at the replay. Nolan Jones showing he might not end up being a future DH. He could actually show some leather here at the hot corner for us. And now we're on to the bottom of the fourth, where it's going to be another double play. Max Muncy this time grinds into a 4-6-3 to make 2 outs in the inning, and then it would be Cody Bellinger, who just goes down looking on the up-and-in fastball, cannot pull the trigger. Now we're on to the bottom of the fifth, and James Paxton still working, gets Andy Burns to go down looking on the changeup outside half of the zone. Top of the sixth now, Kevin Kiermaier back at the dish, and he's going to be plunked there right on what looked like the shoulder, so he'll take his base, and then they are going to intentionally walk JD Martinez after Kevin Kiermaier goes and swipes second. So first and second here for the Reds, and Nolan Jones ripping one right back up the middle. That'll score Kiermaier easily from second base, and the Reds jump off to a 1-0 lead here. Martinez luckily gets into third base there, but nothing else would happen in the inning. So we're on to the bottom of the sixth now. James Paxton back at it, working well. He gets Chris Taylor to go down looking there. We move things on, bottom of the eighth, where TJ Antone came on for Cincinnati, looking to set things up. He would proceed to strike out Andy Burns for the second out of the inning, and then close it out by striking out Michael Brosseau. And this 1-0 lead remains into the ninth, where Will Smith, the new closer here for the Reds, taking over in that spot for Lucas Sims, who's gotten off to an awful start on the year, and Will Smith gets the job done. He's going to strike out Freddie Freeman with a runner on and 1 out to make it 2 outs, and then Max Muncy comes up and goes down on that slider as well. Will Smith works the scoreless ninth, and the Reds just barely get by the Dodgers here in Los Angeles by a score of 1-0. That's all it took, was the Nolan Jones RBI single. James Paxton just absolutely dominant on the hill for us. 7 innings strong, only gave up 5 hits, struck out 6, no walks, no earned run. He gets player of the game honors. Kevin Kiermaier had a double on the day, and then Nolan Jones had the only run driven in on the RBI single in the top half of the sixth. And now before we hop into the next game, we do have a few things to go over. The first one being the 2023 first-year player draft. The Cincinnati Reds had the 6th overall pick in this year's draft, and with that pick, they took Freddie Jones, a 19-year-old right-handed pitcher, and then the rest of their picks this year looked as Stuart Bradshaw, a 19-year-old left-handed pitcher, Hubert Hammond, an 18-year-old right-handed pitcher, Rafael Valdez, a 19-year-old right-handed pitcher, Alfredo Crespo, a 21-year-old outfielder, George Castro, a 21-year-old right-handed pitcher, and then Brian Morris to close things out, a 21-year-old first baseman. As always, we will not be showing you the potentials or the ratings of these guys right now because they will either be updated in their own prospect profiles or in a future minor league update video. And now on to some pregame stuff as we are now into mid-June here in the season, and the team has performed even worse. They are now down to 28-41 here in this season. It does not look like this scrappy roster we put together is being as scrappy as they thought they would be, and they are just pretty much just a bad team just gearing themselves up to be traded at the deadline. But like we saw in the Dodgers game, Lucas Sims has lost his closer job. He has been god-awful here in this season so far, so he is no longer in that ninth inning role. That now belongs to Will Smith, who has been very solid here out of the pen for us. Also, along with the bats, Tyler Stevenson is actually heating up quite a bit as he's got his OPS up to 751, which is much higher than it previously was. I believe it was below 700 earlier in the season, and now he's just been tearing the cover off the ball and getting that thing up into 751. And then Jon Berti, still playing well for no reason whatsoever, just career high numbers across the board for him right now. He is OPSing 883 for us. The Reds hit the road once again, this time to Miami to take on the Marlins in the land of people who love wearing white shirts to games and doing a Seven Nation Army chant like they are at a high school football game. Take a look at the Reds lineup listed 1 to 9. We'll start things off in the top half of the first inning. JD Martinez crushing a ball off of Sixto Sanchez here with 2 outs, a deep drive to left field, and that is out of here. A solo shot as Martinez continues his tear here in 2023. Bottom of the first now, Nick Lodolo on the hill. It's Jazz Chisholm popping one up into left field foul territory, and Jon Berti tracking this one down to make the play. Then later on in the inning, runner on first, 2 outs. It's Jesus Sanchez going down looking. There will be no bomb like he hit in Colorado yesterday. Bottom of the second, Jorge Soler going to chop one over to first base. Joey Votto back from his IL stint, turning a 3-6 double play. A very unique one there. Step on the bag and then throw over to second and slap the tag. And then the inning would come to an end as Avisel Garcia goes down swinging. So now we're on to the top of the third, where Taylor Walls is actually going to poke one through the infield here to lead off the top of the third with a base knock. Next batter up, Kevin Kiermaier lays down a bunt, and this is going to be so perfectly placed that the fleet-footed Kiermaier has himself an infield single. So first and second now brings up Jon Berti, and he's going to bloop one over the head of the first baseman. That'll score 1. Berti, an RBI double here, makes it a 2-0 lead for the Reds. So now later on in the inning, they were not done. As Berti continues to hit well this season, Jonathan India wants to get on the run parade as he drives one to dead center field. You can kiss that goodbye. A 3-run blast for Jonathan India makes it a 5-0 lead here for Cincinnati, and they weren't done there either. JD Martinez, how about 2 on the day? Thank you very much. Off the foul pole. A solo shot makes it a 6-0 Cincinnati lead. Sixto Sanchez got absolutely bombarded on this day. Jesus Luzardo came in that inning, got out of that inning, but then in the top of the fourth, with 2 outs facing Jon Berti, he's going oppo taco. A solo shot for Jon Berti as he continues to hit here in 2023, and it's now a 7-0 lead here for the Reds in Miami. Move things on, bottom of the fourth. Nick Lodolo unfortunately hurt himself on that play. Luckily, it was not a long-term injury, but he does have to come out of the game. So Robert Duggar now enters the game here for the Reds, making his 14th appearance here out of the bullpen with Cincinnati. And he would proceed to easily get out of the inning as he gets the perfectly placed curveball on Jesus Sanchez there to strike him out. He is not happy about that. And then it is Jesus Aguilar, one of the 17 Jesuses they have on this team, who goes down swinging on the slider. So now it is the top of the 5th inning. JD Martinez, another power out to left center field, but this time it's just going to hit off the wall, and it's going to be a double. So 2 home runs and a double on the day for JD Martinez. That one to lead off the top of the 5th. Then with 1 out, it's going to be Nolan Jones ripping one into the right center field gap. That'll score Martinez another RBI double, and it is Nolan Jones making it an 8-0 lead. On to the bottom of the 6th, it's going to be the Marlins finally getting themselves on the board. Jesus Aguilar almost with a 3-run shot, but it dies at the track, and instead only scores 1. 8-1 Marlins is the score now. Top of the 7th. He didn't do it again, did he? This looks like deja vu. It's the same part of the park. Basically, left center gives it a leap, no chance. 3 home runs on the day for JD Martinez as he continues to be just an absolute beast for this Reds team in that 3-hole, 16th on the season, 3rd of the day, and they would just pretty much wrap things up here for Cincinnati as they easily beat the Marlins here in Miami. Final score ended up being 10-3 here over the Marlins. JD Martinez, obviously your player of the game. He went 4 for 5 on the day with 3 home runs, a double, 3 runs driven in, scored 4 times as well. John Birdie went 3 for 5 on the day with 2 home runs and a double. Jonathan India had a home run, a 3-run blast. Nolan Jones went 2 for 3 with a double. It was an offensive explosion here down in South Florida. So before we hop into the next game, we have a couple things to go over here as we are now moved up into mid-July here. We're really cruising through this season because it's pretty obvious this team is not going to be good. Once we are good and we're actually competitive, we're not going to be cruising through seasons like this in like 4 or 5 episodes. It's felt like we are going to be taking our time more. It's not going to be taking forever, but maybe instead of 1 entire month going through in like an episode, we'll be, taking our time here with some of the games and, just making it more competitive once we're more competitive. But right now, we're not competitive, so there's no sense in spending so much time going through these early seasons where we're not a good team. But anyways, we are now into mid-July, right before the All-Star break, and unfortunately, Nolan Jones has fractured his arm, and he is now on the 60-day IL, so that's probably going to end his season. If anything, he comes back at like the very end of the year. So we are going to be making a call-up from AAA Louisville, and that is going to be Nick Senzel. He's back, baby. He was very good in AAA last year when we sent him down, and he has been very good this year. About midway through July here in AAA. He has an 882 OPS and 290 ABs. He's back in the big leagues, and taking his spot in AAA, being called up from AA, is going to be Alan Cerda. This has been 2 straight seasons now, just tearing up AA for him. I think he's a AAA player, so he's going to come up and see if he can continue hitting well in AAA. So take a look at the new look lineup here for the Reds. Now that Nolan Jones is hurt, it's going to be Nick Senzel playing third base every day. We've got ourselves another road game here on the docket, but this time we're back out in California to take on the San Diego Padres. Take a look at the Cincinnati lineup on the day listed 1-9 with Nick Senzel at third base. We'll start things off bottom half of the first. Tyler Mahle working the K-ball just like he's done a lot this season. Strikes out Jake Cronenworth. After that, it would be Eric Hosmer going down looking. And then it's Fernando Tatis Jr. whiffing on the fastball. Strikes out the side here to start the game and works a scoreless frame. So top half of the second now, welcome back to the big leagues. Nick Senzel rips a ball into the left center field gap. That is a 2-bagger here with 2 outs for Senzel, but unfortunately, they would not be able to drive him in as Jonathan Villar would come up and then just fly one out to shallow right field. So nothing going there for the Redlegs. Move things on to the top of the third now, Taylor Walls. Another single for him as he pokes one into right field, leads off the inning. Next batter up, Kiermaier whipping through a pitch, but Walls goes and swipes second base with his fleet feet, so he's in a scoring position. And then Kiermaier, ground ball to second base, moves up Walls, 1 down now in the inning. Walls on third base, 90 feet away. John Birdie, line drive to center field. That'll tag up the speedy Walls to score, and the Reds strike first here in San Diego. They go up 1-0. Bottom half of the third now, it's Azakar grounding into a 4-6-3 double play to end the inning. Worked beautifully by Tyler Mahle. Move things on to top of the 7th as basically nothing happened in this game in the time between there, and Pierce Johnson comes on for the Padres, and he is going to have a ground ball hit up the middle from Kevin Kiermaier, who gets a base knock, and then he proceeds to go and swipe second base. Ball gets away from the catcher Alfaro as well, and he's going to get in there without a throw. So the runner on second base is then Birdie is going to bloop one in no man's land there in right field, and that's going to score Kiermaier. It's now a 2-0 lead here for Cincinnati. Bottom half of the 7th, Tyler Mahle still on the hill. Nick Senzel playing a sharp third base, diving stop, throw across the diamond for out number 1. Next batter up is Tatis, who's going to bloop one into right field where nobody can get to it. So it's a 1-out single there for Tatis. And now it's TJ Antone coming on here for the Reds out of the bullpen for the 30th time this season. And Tatis is going to go to try steal second base, and he does. Gets in there with the feet first slide. Next batter up is Machado. He goes down looking on the sinker, cannot pull the trigger. So 2 down, and then Tatis goes and tries to steal third, and Stevenson says, nah, you're not stealing twice on me. Throws him out. Cam Bedrosian then comes on for the Padres here in the top of the 8th, and JD Martinez hitting a home run again off of the brick in left field, a solo shot. Just a bunch of chippy runs this game. 3-0 now for the Reds as they would take that score into the 9th, where Will Smith comes on. Here in the 9th inning, and with 2 outs facing Jake Cronenworth, gets him to go down swinging on the curveball. Will Smith works the save as the Reds come out on top here over the Fathers of San Diego. Player of the game honors go to Tyler Mahle on the day. He pitched 6 1/3 innings, only gave up 2 hits, struck out 9 Padres batters, and gave up no runs. JD Martinez had a home run on the day. Lots of small ball for Cincinnati working on the day. Lots of stolen bases, lots of singles. Walls and Kiermaier both stole 2 bags on the day. Birdie stole 1. And with that being said, that's going to wrap things up here for this edition of the Cincinnati Reds franchise here on MLB The Show 22. I've been your host, Jersey Born, and I am saying, Ime Udoka.